Black, white, and Native American.
And I wanted to clock out at 7, and I had to leave at 9.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. So I've been seeing these videos a lot where, an MGM girl or maybe a biracial girl is simply just explaining her heritage, her lifestyle, her situation, and how she relates to, her admixture and stuff like that. And then people will be saying crazy stuff in the comments, like to completely disregard, this talking point. I think what they're trying to do is that thing where they say, oh, you're making being light skinned or you're making being mixed your whole personality. So I wanted to go through some of the comments with you guys. Someone here is saying, I genuinely don't understand the joke here. I'm also Black, white, and Native. And those are her main ethnicities and races. So what's the joke? Someone else says the lady looks like she could be mixed race. So I feel like this is mean instead of funny. And then a hater says, I wanted to be an astronaut growing up when I was younger, grew up scared of heights. Basically they're just saying things to completely disregard, how she feels and, her situation, which I find it really funny because a lot of Black people make slavery and oppression their entire personality. But when someone is, actually dealing with the intersections between multiple races and multiple ethnicities, and they do have an ambiguous look, so they're constantly having to explain to people what they are, it would make sense why someone would make a video like that. So someone here is saying, it's funny how someone can make jokes about one thing, but if someone else was to make a joke about that, it would be an issue. Someone else here is saying, I'm German, Jew, Scot, and Irish. And, all of their ancestors have this unique connection, which makes sense because those are European and there's a lot of history between those. But I find that when you're Black or you're mixed with multiple other things, it can be kind of hard to intersect those things together, especially when the cultures are so different. So it makes sense why someone would want to, explain that, that they were their history and stuff like that. But the part that really gets me is, if someone wants to come on the internet and say, Melanie the Queen, Black Girl Magic, da-da-da-da, and make their whole personality Black Lives Matter, that wouldn't be a problem. But, honestly, in this post, I don't think she's making, her whole personality. I haven't seen the rest of her content. But I've been seeing, so much of this lately where a mixed person or a biracial person or a person with a certain phenotype. And then the last time I think I noticed it was the girl, the light-skinned girl with 4C hair, how they were basically telling her, her experience doesn't matter, her feelings doesn't matter. The life that she's lived her entire life with the skin in her that she has and that unique experience being an exotic, that doesn't matter in anything. So I feel like that's what they're trying to do here. But the part that really gets me is there are people in the comments that are making sense of the fact that this isn't really, what's the joke? What's so funny about disregarding someone's heritage? I feel like in any other situation that would be considered xenophobic or, anti-Semitic or whatever, But when it's a certain phenotype in the Black community, it's a problem. Now, the other thing that got me, I don't know the race of the lady that was chuckling and laughing and stuff, but she looked non-Black to me. And I just find it so embarrassing to between TikTok and all this other stuff, that our dirty laundry is just out there for the world to see. And that in terms 4C hair and all this other stuff, white people know that now. Hispanic people know that now. Asian people know that now. And it's one thing to share information and enjoy, someone else's culture, but it's another thing to have your dirty laundry aired out for the world to see. And it's just so embarrassing that someone else thinks that they can laugh about, a subculture of Black people in the Black community because, a certain phenotype of women think it's funny to make fun of people, which is the same thing that y'all said y'all didn't want happening to y'all, which I find funny because I also did a video on there's no such thing as reverse colorism. Bullying doesn't equate to colorism. But half of the stories people tell is a boy didn't like you and someone bullied you. You were never really systematically oppressed. I think about the Crown Act and stuff like that. But other than that, no one really brings up anything where they were actually systematically oppressed because of their skin tone. And I think hair is also subjective. We did a video on, I think they're called wig locks, where you let them grow freeform, and how that can look unkept to some people or unhygienic or not professional. And it's not a race thing. It's anybody of any color that you just let your hair, just grow naturally out of your head. You don't get a haircut. You don't keep it intact. You know what I mean? So, so I think hairstyles and stuff are kind of subjective, but skin tone, no one should ever be discriminated against their skin tone or their phenotype and stuff like that, or their features. And that doesn't usually happen unless you're in an industry where it's very male dominated. Like people always show that video of Rick Ross, and there was a light-skinned girl and a dark-skinned girl, and they were both basically singing a song, and obviously the dark-skinned girl did a better job. Why would you expect Rick Ross, of all people, to want, a beautiful black woman when he probably just want a certain type of girl that has a certain type of aesthetic? Like, why would you even expect that? But you weren't actually like systematically oppressed from a real job interview where your looks isn't the main thing. You get what I'm saying? So how come when we say it, oh, that's just bullying isn't colorism, there's no reverse colorism? When if you look at the definition of colorism, it doesn't say dark-skinned people have it bad. It says that within the different color spectrums, people are discriminated against specifically because of their color, which can be any color. So I did really find it weird, and I've definitely been noticing a lot more of this, of like, people thinking it's funny to make fun of certain people. And also a lot of like light skinned savior complex girls where they'll just laugh at the joke too. They'll make fun of themselves too. So yeah, I would love to know you guys' opinions on this. So leave a comment and have a beautiful day.